Hello, what's up, YouTube? It's Royale here with Respiratory. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment, just to do it. And let's get started with the video. First off, I'm a little cold, so that's why I got the hoodie on and I'm freezing. I don't want to open any windows or anything because I don't want it to get like too hot in here. I just have like a bowl of ice cream. I'm just kind of just chilling today. Anyway, but I got my notes in front of me. So obviously you guys can read the title of the video. You clicked it. Investing as a respiratory therapist. I think it's extremely important, especially how the economy is today in the US. People, I get most, well, I not get, I watch YouTube a lot on my downtime. And I've seen people, since the economy is the way it is, I've seen people living in storage units. I've seen people working like 3 and 4 or 5 jobs. I don't know how they do that, but they all must be like part-time. But there's people who are homeless. And, they're starting up YouTube channels and they're over here getting monetized, and good for them. And, everyone's just basically on that boat where we're struggling. But as a respiratory therapist, most respiratory therapists that I can say that are part-time or full-time, but if I'm going to mainly speak for the full-time people, particularly if they only have one job. And it just depends on where you live. But where I live, one job, I can make it easily 3,000 or 4,000, just depending if I want to do the overtime or not. Now, with that in mind, there's a saying, you have to lose money to make money, right? And, that's just the way how investing works. You can obviously put money into the stock market, whatever. If you're good at reading analytics and patterns and things in that nature, go for it. But for some people, they want something that's pretty much passive and, things that can genuinely give them income per month or however frequency they want to do it. So me, I don't recall in the last video I made if I told you guys I quit my nursing home job. It was an easy job. It's just, I wasn't really getting enough hours. So I kind of just dropped it and, stick with the two I have, the PRN and the full-time. So realistically, and I'm pretty transparent with my money. A lot of people on YouTube aren't, but I'm bringing home at least like $6K just for doing respiratory therapy. And that's a month if I'm doing the 2 jobs and everything, and all the hours are adding up. But for the most part, all that depends on what you want to do in life, and if you want to work until you're 80, being an 80-year-old respiratory therapist, But for me, no. I was just talking to somebody about, how pensions and everything aren't, obviously, pretty relevant anymore. And the guy I was talking to, he's a respiratory therapist. He goes, "Man, you're too young to be tired. You should be full of energy. You should be working at least 90 hours a week." And I'm looking at him like, huh? Like, man, you expect me to work until I'm 80 and then just live my golden years and just clock out? No. So I'm currently on the path of being an entrepreneur respiratory therapist. That's pretty cool, right? It's a new term, just combining the two. But no, on a serious note, I want to be able to have money come in passively, so that way I don't have to work as hard anymore. I don't think it's right that, retirement age is like what? Well, retirement age is currently like what, 65? And all the money that you're getting from your 401k And it depends. If some employers do a percentage match, um, it just depends on how. If you don't call out and you don't use PTO and you got to save PTO and you got to lose PTO, like, no, it's just a hassle. So I think as a respiratory therapist, you know, if you're bringing home six figure, or yeah, you can bring six figures a year as a respiratory therapist. It's definitely doable to invest in like real estate, businesses, properties. When I mean properties, I know I said real estate, but when I mean properties, I mean like maybe invest in like a storage unit, like purchase a storage unit and just, rent out the units to people, things in that nature. But like I said, you can always do the stock market, but I mean that's like a gamble in my opinion. But I mean, hearing that your respiratory therapist is talking about some, you're too young to be tired. I'm like, man, if only y'all knew, man. But it's like, I remember during COVID-19. I remember during COVID-19, no one took it seriously. I remember being in school to get my prereqs for respiratory therapy. The teacher was like, "Oh, it's not real. It's just gonna brush over. The best thing to get rid of it, even if you do get it, is take some elderberries and some zinc." And I'm like, I mean, I didn't care for it at the time, but then 2020 hit, and I was fortunate enough to go to school during COVID-19, and get my education for free. But I wish when I was in school during COVID, I had like one of those little hidden cameras that you have on your badge or like on a pen or something, just so I could show you guys what these respiratory therapists were talking about whenever they're making bank during COVID. Because at that time, I think the respiratory therapists were making, before COVID, the respiratory therapists were making like $27, $29 an hour, right? And ever since COVID-19 exploded, hospitals have been doing like triple pay. So in reality, these respiratory therapists were making like $120 an hour for doing BiPAPs, high flows, intubations, aerosol treatments, PEP vibration therapy, all sorts of things. And I'm like, y'all should have heard the things that they do. Oh, I bought me a jacuzzi. Oh, I bought me a car. Oh, I bought me a BBL. I'm like, you serious? 120 an hour, and that's what you spend it on? You're insane. Why not invest that money into like a real estate property and rent out the property to people? That way you can get passive income from that. Make it make sense. There's no reason you should be getting a brand new jacuzzi or I mean, yeah, treat yourself. I understand that. But getting a whole jacuzzi, buying two brand new paid off cars, you don't need that. You want to build everlasting, I wouldn't say everlasting, but you want to build something that's going to give you income so that way you don't have to work as hard as you get older, right? Me working night shifts, I'm so tired, I don't even want to do nothing. I'm at home damn near sleeping most of the time. And that sucks. And, occasionally I get like some bursts of energy, but I'm going to need me like an energy drink or coffee or something. But it's like, I wish I was a therapist during COVID. Because me getting paid, if I was getting paid $120 an hour just to do what I do now, come on now. This house would have been paid off. I would have had the opportunity to buy maybe another property invest in the property as a whole, or buy me a multifamily property and invest in each like section, like, you know, like a quadplex or something. Or hell, even a bigger project that I was working on, a 32 plex. It's 32 apartments in one building. And, you know, it's just, man, people just be throwing money away. They let that lifestyle inflation creep up on them. And me, I still drive. Like I said, I make about $6K a month as a respiratory therapist, and I haven't bought anything the top of my head that's like bougie, if that's even the right word. But it's like I still drive the same Honda Civic that I have. I've seen a lot of healthcare workers that I hang out with. They got those bougie electric toothbrushes that have the floss built in. I have a regular dollar a regular dollar toothbrush that I got from Walmart. And yeah, I just try to live a simple life. I don't let lifestyle inflation get the best of me. But that's the thing. A lot of us, I wish most of us, I'm even trying to convince some of my friends who aren't respiratory therapists to do good things with their money. But it's like, for the people who were RTs during COVID, it's just like, man, if I had the opportunity to just even have that, $120 an hour to do what I do now is insane. I can't do that no more because COVID don't exist no more, apparently. You know, and I'm not complaining. That's not why, you know, I made this video. It's just to bring you guys awareness that, you know, you don't need no damn jacuzzi. You don't need no brand new 2025 Honda CRV. You need to pay off that debt. You need to pay off, you know, your mortgage. You know, you need to use that money that you were blessed with and invest it in a property so that that can generate you passive income so you don't have to work as hard. You know, me working 2 jobs, I don't plan to do it forever. I got an idea of how I'm going to do it. But unfortunately, I have to still be tired and go to work and do what I need to do. Invest my time into going to work, clocking in, being early, the earliest that I could clock in. Not use PTO, save as much PTO as possible so that way I can go on these travel contracts and bring home, $2K a week based on whatever contract it is, whatever location, right? It's just like little things like that you have to consider. Not, I just wish, man. Even, that's why I want to inspire some of you to become respiratory therapists, because they always say there's no room for advancement, and maybe there isn't, and that's okay. Maybe you could just be a lead RT director, and that's it. That's perfectly fine. If you're like me, you just want to live a simple life, you want to have enough money to where you don't have to work as hard, and, you know, that's the life, you know. But some RTs like to be busy. They like to just always stay working, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I want to relax. I want to be able to travel, go on vacations, possibly even invest in thinking about it, possibly even invest in other countries, because you guys know that property in other countries is a lot cheaper than in the US here. And so, but I just wanted to bring awareness to you guys. Like, investing as a respiratory therapist has definitely brought in a lot of income for me ever since I bought this house last year of January 2024. So, with that being said, you know, I got tenants, not here, I'm the only one in the house right now, but I got tenants here. I'm doing room rentals for my side gig, but it's like, you know, I got tenants upstairs and I got tenants downstairs, and, you know, they all do their own thing. But generates me income to where I don't gotta work as hard anymore right now. So, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning into my TED Talk. Really appreciate it. Like I said before, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, comment if you want. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.